Row 18, plot 20.
Hey everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim. I just watched a movie called Fear the Invisible Man. It's a 2023 film. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes. It has a 4.1 star rating on IMDb, but it's very new. There's only 183 reviews for it. It's tagged as a thriller, which is very appropriate. I don't know that I would consider it a horror, although that the traditional uh, lore of the Invisible Man kind of is grouped into that universal horror. This story, if you are not familiar, is about a young British widow who shelters an old medical school colleague, a man who has somehow turned himself invisible. As his isolation grows and his sanity frays, his schemes to create a reign of wanton murder and terror across the city, and she's the only one who knows that he even exists. Directed by Paul Dudbridge, written by Philip Day, Helena Gergilova, and Monica Gergilova, maybe sisters or wives. Stars Mahari Calvé, David Heyman, Mark Arnold, Emily Hay. There's a big cast. I'm not going to go through everybody. But this was released on June 13th, and it's a United Kingdom um, movie from the UK. But don't worry, it's a timepiece, so it's set back in the olden times. So you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of people driving on the wrong side of the street in this movie. I do appreciate that they did the classic telling of the H.G. Wells. Is it H.G. Wells? Um, yeah, H.G. Wells. I had it written down. Um, so I do appreciate that they went with like that classic telling of it. When I watch these UK movies, it always seems to me like they are made for television. So this very well could have been made for television, but you can get it on some of the streaming services. It does get a little slow, and the effects are fine because it's pretty easy to do in this day and age, invisible man type things. Even though there was a few moments, like I said, that the effects do make it seem like it's a little bit made for TV. But the story is good and the acting is good. The music is very very fitting for it. Um, it does uh, stay pretty true to the story, but it also has a little twisty twist in it. The thing about the Invisible Man, like invisibility, has always been, when you're like in a group, maybe I'm only one of these people, but you kind of go through and you're like looking for topics to talk about. And when you're kids, you're like, oh, what superpower would you have? Would you want to be super fast, or would you want to fly, or have super strength? And I always was intrigued by the idea of invisibility. But I also was kind of a loner, and I still am kind of a loner, so maybe there's some subconscious invisibility thing I have going on. I blame my mom. Um, I didn't get enough attention as a kid, but invisibility always intrigued me because of the voyeur aspect of it, because you get to watch everybody while they can't see you. So I do like that. And you can like steal a hot dog if you're hungry. You can like go rob a bank even though you wouldn't need to rob a bank. You could just go take whatever you want. Nobody could ever see you. And I always hated the idea though that you would have to be naked the whole time because I live in upstate New York and we have like some of the very coldest winters. So I always was like, how would I get around that? So in the Marvel comics, the Invisible Woman, she's got like super amped up invisibility, where her invisibility is an aura, and that's how she's able to like cloak her clothing. I know in the movies they describe that Mr. Fantastic created a material or whatever, but I always thought that was interesting, and she could do invisibility blasts. But that's a little off topic from the movie. Yeah, so the movie was good. It was relatively good. 4.1 star rating. I think that'll probably go up a little bit. I think it's deserving of a little bit more. It, like I said, it's a slow, like it was made for BBC movie. It's not a lot of horror aspect of it, but there's a good story here, and the acting is all good by everybody. And I do like I said, the period style of it. So it's definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of like Universal horror. Um, it's in color. It's not like black and white. Like it's gonna be like the old Claude Rains Invisible Man or anything like that. But it's definitely worth checking out. It's one of the better UK almost looking made for TV movies that I've watched in a while. So it's called Fear of the Invisible Man. It's very new. You should be able to get it. I want to say I watched it on Hulu, but it could have been Vudu. Um, and I also think that there were commercials. I'm pretty sure I remember having to sit through ads. So I must have watched it on one of the streaming services for free. Let me know in the comments down below what would be your favorite superpower if you could have one.